This is for both of you. Andre, if you want to start, just first 4 minutes, they seem to disrupt you a little bit, and then you guys had answers. So what makes this offense so difficult to figure out solutions for?
Just having multiple threats on the court at once allows us to play with a certain freedom and trust. So sharing the ball like we did tonight and keep progressing in that aspect of the game just gets us open looks.
David, when everybody's seemingly making shots, what's that sense like on the court where maybe it doesn't matter who it goes to, that it's going to go in?
I mean, our team is full of great shooters, and like it looks pretty beautiful when we make all the shots, and like game is flowing, it's all smooth, but like still sometimes happens that someone not gonna make shots, and then we gotta find a way to win with crashing the boards, get as much offensive rebounds, second chance points, and I think that's the key.
I mean, dominated the rebounding battle tonight too. I mean, how much did that help? Maybe the few shots that you missed, it seems like you got more opportunities off of that.
Yeah, I mean, coach remind us before every game who wins rebounding battle, they win a game, and like a lot of games we played, we won rebounding battle, and that's one of the biggest reasons we having this streak and we beginning to win, and that's it.
Andre, on the other side, Nick Martinelli had 4 points. He's the NCAA's leading scorer. What'd you guys do to kind of disrupt him tonight?
Yeah, we knew he was going to come out aggressive, especially in the second half after the type of first half we had. And Merck did a great job containing, obviously, players like that. We're never going to stop completely. So making his job as hard as possible. And I feel like we did that tonight. And that was one of the many keys that it took to win the game.
For either of you, you guys had a team total of 20 assists. How much was sharing the ball beneficial to the outcome of tonight's game?
I think it just goes back to the trust we have in each other, the amount of work we put in. And, we're going to continue to progress in sharing the ball, and I feel like that's a big key in every game moving forward, just because we have so many shot makers on the team. So it was nice to see tonight.
It's for both of you, David, if you could start. What is it like to be on an offense that has so many different answers for what a defense is giving you?
I mean, it's great, as y'all can see. We have so much different weapons. We are just flowing with the game, seeing what defense offers us, and like we have a freedom. Tyler lets us just play, find solutions, and that's what we've been doing lately.
Yeah, for Andre. And you missed that dunk in the first half, maybe you got fouled, but it seems like afterwards you were really hunting dunks in that throughout the rest of the game. Is that true, or is that just kind of flow of the game stuff?
Just flow of the game, taking what the defense gives me. The drive was there tonight. I tried to go up as aggressive as possible. That's how it went.
Delvin, I'm sure you've always been confident as a shooter, but I think you're shooting about 45% during Big Ten play. What's been key for you to shoot like you are and do it consistently?
Yeah, I mean, since I started playing basketball, I always should had, like, as we will say home, like soft hand, and I always made a lot of shots. And I mean, since I came here, I have opportunity to work a lot on my shots, to spend a lot of time in the gym. As I'm doing, I'm shooting a lot of threes every day, and like I'm just getting consistent in that. And that's the thing I always did to my life.
Andre, as somebody who offensively, like, you are pretty effective at getting to the rim, can you walk us through what it's like to go against this defense every day in practice, where there's just so much length, and you guys seem to do a really good job of protecting the rim?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different look when you're playing against these guys in practice every day, which ultimately makes the game a little easier for us when we have such an effective back line in practice, and a lot of teams don't have that. So allows us, especially me, to get better during practice, to play against the great talent that we have on this roster. But yeah, it's extremely crucial for everybody's development to play with this type of defense.
Andre, how the last second half at Nebraska today? How have the coaches challenged you defensively, especially of late without Kylan?
Of course, yeah. As Kylan went down, we knew that everybody had to step up defensively. That was one of the things that I tried to take pride in. Certain matchups, looking forward to guarding certain players. First half at Nebraska, my energy wasn't right, in my opinion. I knew I had to fix it moving forward, and I think that we did a really good job as a team, especially in the second half and moving forward, coming out with a certain motivation to guard at a high level, even when Kylan comes back, to continue that.
With the winning streak extended to 12, in either of you guys' eyes, or both, however you guys like, what needs to continue getting better to continue winning in conference play, if there's anything?
I mean, we just gotta keep improving things that we are good at, and I mean, we are one of the worst teams in the country with forcing turnovers with opposite teams, and I think we gotta get more steals because we have great offense, for example, and if we had more steals, it would just allow us to play more offense, have more opportunities to score, and I mean that's one of the keys.
For either of you guys, what's it like to be able to have, honestly, kind of like another coach in Kylan on the bench these past couple games? What's that veteran leadership been these past couple games off the court as opposed to on the court?
We knew, I knew what Kylan was like coming into the season, a vocal leader. He's been very crucial even when he was playing. It's very nice to have someone that's not playing right now and give us a sideline perspective. And it means a lot to us throughout the game, encouraging us when shots aren't falling to keep shooting, and when shots are falling, focus on other aspects of the game that will affect it. And it's great to have him, and we just can't wait for him to be back.
David, there clearly was some back and forth with you guys in Northwestern today. How do you bring edge to a team, but also balance that and not go overboard, especially going into a matchup like Michigan State where they're so physical?
But can you repeat, please?
Yeah. You try to bring edge to the court, right? What's the key to balancing and not going overboard, too much edge, especially going into a game like Michigan State where they always bring some physicality?
Yeah, I mean, we have tough rhythm every like 3-4 days. We have a game, and I mean every game is really important to us. And like if we are not on the edge, if we like calculate a little bit, it's not gonna be well, as it happens to other teams in this league. But like I think every game we play, we gotta bring the most energy, and as we did tonight, and like we beat them pretty obvious.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it was a night we made a few shots. I thought that their defensive plan early was taking Keaton out of the game and trapping him, and took us a couple 2 or 3 possessions to kind of acclimate and get our spacing right. But I thought our ball movement, I thought we call it 0.5 basketball, our unselfishness was very good on that end. But more importantly, the job that Mirk, Z did on Martinelli, the attention to detail on that end. I thought every shot was contested. We talked a lot about kind of winning the battle within 4 or 5 feet of the rim. They had 22 second chance points in the first game, and I thought we did a much better job of controlling the lane and then challenging shots. And then I thought Andre was really impactful tonight on Reed, making his shots difficult, and so all in all, a good night. The offensive side was nice because we made some shots when we didn't in Lincoln, but we'll take that and keep building, and really impressed on the defensive side tonight.
Brad, you seem to find answers offensively after these, starts to figure out what you have. What allows this team to figure that out, adjust, and then just go like it does?
Yeah, we're really good problem solvers. And I say that, I use that term a lot. We solve problems. And really high IQ guys that know how to play. Tommy doesn't get enough credit for how good of screens he sets and the angles he sets them and how he gets out of them. And then you see Keaton probably at his best. He just, steps through, he shortens, they shortened passes, they trapped him, they were in full rotation. We had to make an adjustment to get a guy off the wing a little bit and get into some 3-low stuff. But, this team has the ability to do that. And then, I thought Andre offensively was very efficient at driving closeouts, and then you got Jake and Ben and Tommy Z, all those guys that can really shoot it. So it was we hadn't seen the traps in a while, so it was nice to see that.
Coach, 20 assists on 28 made field goals. Is the passing on this team, is that something that's been fostered and grown, or is it just this group of guys, it just comes natural?
No, they can really pass. And I think the one thing that we tried to do is recruit it. I've said it many times, I'm fascinated with passing. To me, it means IQ, it means unselfishness and guys who are willing. I don't think it's just that we're a willing passing team. I think it's that we pass and we put the ball in the pocket. We deliver it at the right time. We deliver it in areas where they can catch it and shoot it. It's we've tried to recruit that, and this group's, it's our job as coaches to put them in space and give them the opportunities to show that off.
Brad, defensively, last time you played them, you had Boswell basically had to turn off the water of whoever was scoring. This time you're able to have different guys, multiple guys do that. And what has allowed that to happen for you guys?
Yeah, I'm going to sound very cliche in practice. We had so little practice time. I mean, and again, that's where your defensive chemistry is. That's where your communication. That's where you have to be elite problem solver. Jake and Ben had an X out tonight that we've never worked on that was just unbelievable to sit there and go, oh, wow. And just the connectivity, but the talk. And, we were without Tommy for a long, long time, and he was in such rotten shape coming out of his tonsils, and he's an elite talker. He's an elite communicator and quarterback in ball screen coverages. And so it's just allowed us to get better. And then, we call it the daily vitamins, our basic fundamental things that we do, we've just gotten better at.
Coach, can you speak to the defensive intensity and just the evolution of that from Andre with Boswell being out?
Yeah, I think that, you shift Kylan from guarding 1A all the time, and you've got to step up and take that challenge. And it doesn't matter what size it is. It doesn't matter if it's a point guard like it was tonight with Reed, or if it's if it's a wing. And Andre has just eaten that up, and he's becoming just an incredible two-way player, and not just a scorer. He is becoming a really, really good defender. You're talking about a guy that had 2 games in bye games, I think, where he can grab a rebound. Now he's becoming an effective rebounder, and he's doing so many other things, and that's a tribute to him being really coachable.
Brad, in Lincoln, you talked about protecting the rim, protecting the paint, and if that meant a few more threes, that's what it does, but it kind of goes against how you've guarded the three-point line in previous years. How did you come around to that line of thinking, and was it personnel-driven with the Twins?
Math. It's just math. Layups and close-in shots are a much higher percentage than we are, and then to utilize our size and length to just contest and above the break threes, it's just been math. That's the answer. It's just we're going to give up a few more, and teams are going to make a few more. But I think it's been phenomenal for us to just not give up layups.
Coach, just given the amount of national attention that the team is getting and just given the winning streak that you guys were on, how are you keeping the guys grounded as the stakes continue to get much, much higher as we get closer to March?
Yeah, we have one saying, don't drink the poison. And it's something we literally talk about every day. Don't read it. Don't talk about it. We haven't brought up anything. We just don't talk about it. It's just the next day. It's very simple, mundane, everyday guys mentality. And then we talk every single day, 100 times a day, about our standard. And we have to play and live up to our standards. And so this group's mature enough, I think, to not buy into what all you guys write about.
Thanks, Coach.
Brad, we've seen an evolution in the past few weeks of Tommy and Z on the floor together. What's been the factor in allowing you to trust that lineup and that you're getting more?
Yeah, I think that we've not been afraid to play it. I think no matter what the lineup is, I thought tonight was a great opportunity to throw Z and see if he could guard Martinelli. Z's really quick twitch. I don't ever worry about it offensively. Offensively, we're positionless, so it doesn't matter where guys play. I could put Tommy as a point guard, and we can run offense. But the defensive side's been a little more complicated than that. But now I feel really comfortable. I like having the size. We had enough sample size to look at numbers with different lineups and see that it was pretty advantageous to be big at times.
Brad, that Nebraska game here, David's defense obviously was an issue. Since then, how has he grown defensively to help tonight hold Nick to 4 points?
Yeah, that's Cam. Cam's done an unbelievable job, just him one-on-one film. He's very high IQ. And, I think it was just a freshman kind of growing up. He called himself Dennis Rodman tonight because Martinelli had, he took that challenge on. And the one thing that Mirk does is he never backs down from any challenge. He is that guy. He wants that thrown upon him. So, but yeah, he's just becoming more comfortable in everything that we're doing, and his talk and his communication has helped do that.
I guess if the math was right to make this kind of change to your defense, what were the conversations maybe like leading into this year where you hammered that out with the stuff?
Well, you guys used to think we stunk defensively. I mean, you guys all right about it. We've been good offensively, and we fell to 34 or something defensively. You guys write like we couldn't stop, a high school team, but we had to be better. We did. We had to be better, and as good as we were at taking away threes, there was still some things that we were lacking, and the personnel with which we are trying to recruit was going to force us to have to do some of that stuff. So a lot of conversations. I was the hardest one to convince. We held teams without a three at different times. And so, to give that up was challenging for me. It was challenging early in the year. I'm all in.
How did you get comfortable with that?
Patience, and I'm not very patient. But I just kept looking at, okay, our 2-point numbers are down, or they're better on the high percentage shots. That was probably the most challenging after the Nebraska game here, when they torched us. They shot 60-some% from two. But that's when I knew we had to commit to it, and I had to buy into it, and I had to stop barking every time somebody gave up a three, and they made it. and just understand that for the long term, this is what we've got to be good at.
Coach held the team to 44 points, and they only turned it over one time. Pretty remarkable stat. How's that kind of? I mean, you're doing that every game now, but is turning teams over a little bit more into the next step? You think?
Yeah, I think we just had our 2 highest turnover rate games back to back. But you know, and I didn't expect that number to move too much with Kylan out. But I'm truthfully not that worried about it. You know, I think that we've got some deception in that number because we do block some shots. We challenge a lot of shots that become turnover-like and live ball turnover-like because we keep the ball in play on the block shots. But I'm not overly consumed with that as much. But yeah, I thought our contest rate and then our rebound rate. I mean, we had 50 rebounds tonight. You know, it's not very often you have 50 rebounds and a team scores 44 points, or you have more rebounds than points.
I'm asking you this about Ben, knowing he went 0 for 6 on Sunday at Nebraska, but if you take that game away, he's 11 for his last 20 from 3. Is there something that he's unlocked that recently, or has that always been there?
No, he doesn't have to play in Pinnacle Bank Arena anymore because he's 0 for 14 in his career. So that's a stat I would know, by the way. So that's the first thing I told him when I saw him Monday was, you never have to go back to Pinnacle Bank. So, no, he just shooting good shots. And, I think that's the beauty of this, and he's seeing other teammates have that success, and I think his confidence is sky high because of what he's doing defensively, and he's playing outstanding.
Maybe the answer is no, but do you have designated late clock shooters? I mean, it seems like Ben gets a couple of those, or Kylan,
It's a read.
Okay.
I mean, we run an action, depending on, it's more matchup based than anything. We run the action, try to, to find the mismatch and then trust our guys to play.
Was there one person that convinced you that this defensive change was the way to go? I mean, was it Cam, I guess?
Combination of Cam and Zach. I think, Cam was new. I think I think he had ideas that were along these lines and yet probably unsure how to bring them to me. And then Zach has just been around forever, and Zach is doesn't get enough credit for how smart he is. He's a math guy. He's very analytical. He does these deep dive projects like this, and both those guys have been very instrumental in pushing that change. Thank you.